Hi everyone, I'm Danso and I want to share my testimony.
Oh, please put your hands together for him. It's not easy being here. Hallelujah.
Amen. Alright, so I used to attend church with my mom.
You used to attend church here?
Yeah. No, not here.
Okay.
And then I joined the Catholic Church.
Okay.
So I really love the Catholic Church.
Okay.
And a friend was trying to bring me here, and
Okay.
I did not want to, because I've heard a lot about Lighthouse, so I did not want to join
You didn't want to come to Lighthouse?
at all.
Okay.
So, and then my friend, she was my sitting mate, Mayu. She said she's having a birthday party at church. I said, hey, oh, can I have a
Why, she's in this church?
Yeah, she's in this church.
Okay.
So then I had no option than to come. So when I came, I think we were in the love chapel, right? And then Pastor Kosi was preaching. I mean, we were done. It was a service.
Okay.
And then Pastor Kosi was preaching. And then that day, I really remember what he preached about. And my whole life, I have never heard anyone preach from the Bible like that before.
Wow. How many of you can relate? How many of you can relate? Why don't you put your hands together for our pastor, Reverend Kwesi Abeidu? Now, so what happened?
So,
after the preaching, what happened?
Yeah, so I said, oh, Charlie, if I'll go for morning mass, then if immediately after morning mass, I'll come here. And I'll come
So you go to the Catholic church and afterwards you come here?
I come here.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I didn't know the Bible was so resourceful.
Okay. And then what happened?
And, you know, I used to be a very bad boy. Like, I was involved in sexual...
Used to be a bad boy. Used to be a bad boy.
I was involved in sexual immorality.
Wow. Hey, somebody say hey. Somebody say hey.
Hey.
Sexual immorality. Wow. And then what happened? As you kept on coming to church.
It was still ongoing. Like,
as you kept on coming to church.
I was still doing it.
How many of you can relate? Continue.
And then, fast forward.
Fast forward.
My pastor asked me to start a bar center at Amasama, and it was working.
Who is your pastor?
Pastor John.
Pastor John. Put your hands together for Pastor John.
Pastor John.
Alright,
so and then it was working, and then I mean, I was involved in the activities.
As you were starting the bar center, you were still doing your thing.
I was still doing them.
Wow.
I was still doing them, and then I think the main reason why I was able to stop when we were going for the COVID break, I went to a friend of mine who is in First Love, and I asked him to download movies for me. Okay. And he downloaded Bishop Dark's camp messages.
Wow.
I did not notice until like that time. Like I was bored. I didn't have anything to do, so I wanted to watch movies. And when I went, Bishop Dark messages like 1,000. I said, hey, why?
So instead of watching movies, you started watching camp messages.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I had no option than to watch them. So while I was watching them, I was catching the fire. And then when my pastor asked me to start a center, it was quite simple.
It was easier because of the camp messages we were listening to. Okay.
So I was doing it, and then Charlie, like I preach. I'll go and he gave me he said I should preach from this book, and the book it's against fornication, and I'll go and preach about fornication. I'm doing fornication.
And you are doing fornication yourself.
It doesn't work that way. So all of a sudden I stopped. Like I did not have any.
Wow! Why don't you put your hands together for Jesus? Wow!
Nothing.
So as we were listening to the camp messages, as we were preaching yourself, you couldn't live a life, so you had to change.
Exactly.
You had to change. Why don't you put your hands together for that? So thank you. So what do you have to say to someone who is like you? Someone who is still in church, probably even a minister on stage, but is into sexual immorality. What do you have to say to someone like that?
I think my friends.
Your friends.
I had a friend who he smokes.
He smokes.
Yeah, so he was rolling the weed, and I asked him that, stop. Why can't you stop doing this thing? And he asked me a question. He asked me that since I started having sex, have I ever thought of stopping it? I said, then it means I can't stop at all. But I don't know if we are in this era where sin, we pride ourselves in the amount of sin that we are involved in. I mean, when boys meet, yes.
Okay. But so you are talking about company.
Yeah,
the kind of company you move with can influence you to stop living in sin.
Yeah.
Wow. Why don't you put your hands together for that? So
yeah, I separated my. And finally, one time Pastor Kosi was preaching. Was it last 3 weeks? And I don't really remember when it was. and he preached about
say no. Was it just
say no?
Wow. How many of you were here?
No, it wasn't just say no.
It wasn't just say no.
He said run. It was a message about fornication. It said just say no.
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Was it just say no?
Alright, and Charlie, that day, he said flee. The flea, I know, the flea.
Okay.
There was a flea. Yes.
Okay, so the message changed you.
Yeah. So
wow.
I went for outreach at Legon, and then when I went, it was raining. So there was this lady, and then when I went, she's a lady. I went to outreach.
Okay.
And she was the only one there. And then when I was talking to her, in the act of talking, she said that so I'm not feeling well. I said, oh, what's wrong with you? I think maybe I'm going to pray for you. He said that's so massage here.
Hey!
Hey!
Once we're on outreach, so you have to remember our pastor's message and flee. Wow! Wow! Why don't you put your hands together for Danso for his wonderful testimony? Danso, thank you very much for sharing your testimony with us.
Thank you very much.
Put your hands together for Danso.